Hi there, Dr. Kara of KH Evolution. I am pleased to be here with you today. Just wanted to offer up some information about maybe some of the spiritual and energetic experiences that you might be having alongside of me. I often find that my clients or the people that come to me for education, so my students, are experiencing much of the same thing that I am feeling. And I find that when we talk about it or when we bring it to the surface, it kind of softens things a little bit. So what I found to be true is that many of us have been doing a lot of percolating, right? So we've been in this area of our lives where we've had to pull our energy back, be a little less social perhaps, and be a little quieter inside. And that's not always an easy thing to do. We are definitely community beings, right? Even the most introverted, we know that connection is so very important. And so I have found that in these quieter times, a lot of information is coming forward for me to look at, and it hasn't always been easy or pleasant. There's been aspects of my life, my past, my anticipated future, my present that is coming up into my awareness so that I can look at it from perhaps a different perspective or sit with it longer than I typically would to gain perspective and information and awareness about myself and the energy around it and how what I can do in my own life and inside myself can reflect outward into consciousness and start to create change, positive change for our world. So one thing I want to talk about is that I see a lot of comments on social media, and I hear a lot of comments from my clients and students about, I'm doing all this work. I try to show up as a good person. I do the best that I can, but nothing seems to be making a difference. So if you feel this way, I'd love to hear from you. Please comment below. And what I want to share with you is that it can be really easy to get pulled into the illusion that the things that we do, the things that we think, the actions that we take, the way we show up is insignificant. That is the illusion. We are, in fact, way more significant than we give ourselves credit for, way more. And the first step is realizing this, realizing how significant we are, how small little things that we perhaps don't pay attention to because we're not as present as we might be capable of, how these seemingly insignificant interactions with people or thoughts or perceptions make a bigger impact than we realize. The more present we become, the more we understand how we are impacting the consciousness, how the flow of what our thoughts and our experiences are, what our beliefs are, how they move into consciousness and become a part of it. And so what reflects back to us in the day-to-day life is not always what is full and present in consciousness, right? So it is important that we stay the course and that we do our job and we do our due diligence of remaining as positive as possible by doing the right thing that our hearts are leading us to. And the right thing is not judged as right or labeled as right by something outside of you, but more importantly, by something inside of you, by that internal compass. The only one who can determine what is, quote, right is you. So allow yourself to express and show up by your internal compass, by what you desire the world to be, by what you can imagine as being the most peaceful and balanced space that we can all live in. This is important because as we come together, as we create community in a more positive light, the illusion will break down and the reflection back will be more positive than ever before. But we have to be careful about being pulled into the illusion that what we do in our day-to-day life that is seemingly insignificant is not making a difference. Trust that it's making a difference. It is making a difference. The second thing I want to share with you today is about taking action. And the fear, perhaps, or the apprehensiveness that you might be nervous to move through so that you can take the action steps to really move into a greater space of joy. We tend to hold on to things that really make us unhappy, but we hold on to them because we feel that it's our duty and it's important to hold on to them to be kind or to do the right thing. And I want to encourage you and urge you to take a look, to ask Spirit to help you monitor the ways in which you show up, the things that you do in your life that you're doing because you feel obligated to do it, but it brings you relatively no joy, or the attachments that are happening in your life or that you've created that worked well for you in the past, but maybe they're outdated and worn out and they're not working for you anymore. We're being called by the energy on the planet to clean this up. We're being called by our own spiritual teams, our guidance teams, to clean up old contracts, to let go of our ancestral past, to help to process this old energy and baggage that is not helping us to maintain our course in the evolutionary process of where we're going. And our meter and our guide for this is our level of joy that we get from the engagement of these activities. So I urge you to take a look at your experiences, how you invest yourself and your time, and what you receive back in the level of joy in these experiences. Because if you are not feeling joy most of the time, or even half of the time in what you are engaging in, trust me when I say that there is something bigger, better, or more joyful out there waiting for you to engage with. But we have to find our way to this by bringing closure to the things that are no longer in alignment. If you want to hear one of my own personal stories in this, please check out my podcast. The latest episode of my podcast is offering up this information and giving you a really good example where I become vulnerable and share with you my own process of coming to this arrival point of being able to understand that we might understand something, but taking those action steps to really bring closure or move us forward, even if they're small steps, is so important. All right, check out the podcast, Ascended Evolution, and please don't forget to leave a review, share it with your friends. I would greatly and deeply appreciate that. And know that I send each and every one of you energy and joy and everything that I can to, from my heart to yours, to really up-level you, to help you move into a space of greater inner peace and greater knowing that we are, as humanity, on a path to more love. Be well, my friends. Take care.